Finding Rest in Illusion. Volume 3, The Trilogy of Rest by Longchenpa. This is on the chapter that is like a city of Gandharvas. Gandharvas are celestial musicians in the Hinduism and Buddhism tradition. And also the victorious one declared that everything is like a city of Gandharvas, that you may meditate on this. Pay heed now to my explanation. In the primordial expanse of luminosity appears a city, fair and beautiful, of perfect qualities, spontaneously present. It dwells therein beginningless and without end. No center does it have, no limit. And from this luminous and empty state, within the firmament of the unknowing mind, the 6 migrations, castles in the clouds appear, which take their origin in dualistic clinging to the apprehender and the apprehended, devoid of ground and basis. They appear in different forms, deriving from deluded mind and its habitual tendencies. When these you see, there manifests the nature of the mind, the primal state. But when you fail to see it, there is just the mind of everyday confusion. And how are these appearances? They are ungraspable, like castles in the clouds. How else should we describe them? Indeed, they are all destitute of real existence. They are like the cities of the fairies seen above a plain as sunlight sinks into the west. Supported and support are simply the deluded mind, which sees it is wont to see. When closely scrutinized, there's nothing really there. Left to itself, the vision naturally fades. So set aside your fear, for you have nothing hard to do. Understand just how the world and beings are from the very outset pure and empty. All appearing objects, empty of true being, are like castles in the clouds. All mental states, by nature empty, are like castles in the clouds. Both sense objects and mind are empty. They are like castles in the clouds. The slightest clinging or fixation, just leave it where it is. How is this accomplished? Do not let your mind manipulate phenomena, appearing yet without existing. Simply leave them without grasping. Original delusion is itself the fruit of all such grasping and fixation, and therefore you should know the state devoid of clinging. The sublime and spotless nature of phenomena themselves, and utter peace, the state beyond all sorrow, are not existent entities. Understand that all phenomena, things and non-things, both, all are empty, without true existence. They resemble castles in the clouds. They are like the vast abyss of space, primordially unborn, the state of utter peace. No desire is found therein. Ignorance and anger, jealousy and pride are not observed. So therefore understand that these and all thoughts are like castles in the clouds, defilements void of real existence. And enlightenment, the nature of the mind, are not two different things. Know that they are like space. They are both equal and immaculate. The nature of samsara is nirvana from the outset. Deluded thoughts subside completely, like the clouds that melt into the sky. Know that they subside, there whence they came. Preserve this state of utter peace, primordial wisdom, empty, luminous. In the state of unborn nature, no thoughts, no sense objects are found, and yet, until the show of their arising melts into the ultimate expanse. Cut through the root of your delusion, ordinary thought. Action and non-action are not two. Not two are taking and rejecting, and yet, as long as in your mind you cling to self and real existence, I urge you to rely upon profound instructions, antidotes for your defilements. Not two are outer things and inner mental states. Both sink into the nature of the mind. Wise you are, if this you understand. Regarding how to meditate this point, first perform as previously the preliminaries, and in the main part of the practice, know with a complete conviction all things are like castles in the clouds. Form appears and yet is empty, like a castle in the cloud. Sound, smell, taste, touch, mental objects, all these six are castles in the clouds. The mind, its affirmations and negations, all arising thoughts are castles in the clouds. On all these meditate with clarity. At all times, day and night, reflect just as before. All that appearing things are castles in the clouds. Having seen that all compounded things resemble castles in the clouds, you should settle in their presence of reality. Your mind's proliferations all will cease, and self-arisen clear and empty luminosity will manifest from deep within. Even in your dreams, you will see everything as cities of Gandharvas in the clouds. You will become proficient in assuming different forms, transforming them as previously described. And as belief in the reality of things subsides, the dualistic chain of apprehender, apprehended breaks. All bonds and all habitual tendencies subside, and freedom is achieved. Meditate therefore upon these castles in the clouds. So I'll share my reflection on this reading, on the chapter that is like the city of Gandharvas. So I'm explaining from my own perception, my own understanding. So different people may understand it differently. So if you don't resonate with it, just leave it aside and put it aside. It's no problem at all. So, what I understand from the victorious one declared that everything is like a city of Gandharvas. What I understand is that all phenomena arise, perceive, and cease at different rates of rhythm vibrations. So everything is like music. Some of us express bad music, such as anger, fear, and some of us express good music, such as gratitude, kindness. But the text go on to say that there's no such thing as good or bad. No apprehender, apprehended. No, or rather, action and non-action are the same. So what is trying to say that whether it's good or bad music that comes out from us, what we choose to express, it comes from this place. And what is that place? It comes from the space of awareness, or what is called the nature of mind. And this nature of mind is known to be spontaneously present and luminous in the tradition of Dzogchen, which is a Tibetan teaching. So luminous in the sense that there's clarity, and awareness, luminous space, can only be experienced in the present. And so if you are able to stay in the present and to observe the sensations from the body, feelings, the nature of thoughts, and what causes them to arise and cease. And as you watch them continuously, for as long as possible, and then you would see that everything that we experience in our life is really like a kind of music, rhythm, vibration. And the problem is that we hold on to these things, we don't let them pass. And yet they are ungraspable. But yet we bring them up again and again, thinking that they're solid, and it causes us a lot of dissatisfaction, or what is called the first noble truth of suffering. Well, in my experience, even though I've noticed that it is true, everything arises, perceives, and cease, nothing is lasting. But yet there are certain things, certain habits of the mind that are so strong, such as, fear of seeing doctor, fear of having pain. These things are quite hard to see past them. And that's why the practice of mindfulness and awareness is so important in every moment in our lives. And great practitioners have great determination and great effort and clarity of mind to make use of every opportunity in their life, even pain and deep fears, such as some Thai monks that would enter the forest and even come face to face with tigers. Just to, for us modern people, it may seem very unskillful to go look for a tiger to bring up fear. But I guess it does help. Of course, it's based on your own level of tolerance, right? Not everybody is ready to do that. And for many people living in the cities, like myself, we do not need to see a tiger, and we already feel anxieties and fear. And even more so in a very tense world today, and in a world that is filled with non-stop thinking and distraction. And the text also say that all these thoughts that come after one another, they are really just castles in the air. So actually we understand what daydreaming is, right? Daydreaming is sort of like zoning out and just thinking of really random things and not having a clarity about them. But when you practice mindfulness and the Buddhist meditation, the four foundations of mindfulness, you learn you learn to be continuously aware and to know when a thought comes up, a feeling comes up, sensations in the body comes up, how they perceive, how they see, what their causes. And then you gain this sense of this sense of clarity that actually, even if we are not daydreaming, all of our thoughts are like daydreams. It's just that we segregate them into those that we're aware of, those that we're not so aware of. And if we're thinking and we know that we're thinking and there seems to be that we're deliberate in thinking, then we think that there is not daydreaming. Actually, that still is daydreaming, because we are thinking of things that might not even happen, or things that might happen and we think that it wouldn't happen. Right? So yeah, that sums up my short reflection. So for myself, I have to remember that every thought, every feeling, or any sensations or objects of consciousness that arise, they do return to the space where it comes from. And this space in my body, this space outside my body, they're no different. And what I come to realize is, if the space in my body is aware, then awareness is infinite, is limitless, it's undescribable, and it's a mystery. So everything arises from that space, everything sees into that space. So for those of us without clarity who are still delusional, we don't see things arising from that space, and we take what is arisen as truly existent, which is the castle in the sky. So that's all from me. Hope you enjoy the chapter. Thank you.